Hi everybody, my name's Naomi. I am just finishing my second year studying drama and English literature, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of my testimony. So I have always grown up in a Christian household, so I've always known Jesus. I've gone to church like every week of my life, but I'd always lived through my parents' relationship with him and not my own. And it was at a church summer camp in a youth tent that I took the step to have my own relationship with Jesus. It was after a call for young people to dedicate their lives to him at the end of this talk, and I was so nervous to go up to the front of the tent to receive prayer, and I very nearly didn't go because growing up I was not very confident at all, and the thought of standing up in front of loads of people was terrifying, but right at the last minute I ran to the front at the last call for people to come up. I ran to the front shaking, but I am so glad I did it. It was a great moment. Ever since then, my relationship with God has grown so much, particularly through worship. I have always been part of the worship team growing up at my home church, but I was always so nervous to let my voice be heard. I'd always step away from the mic, like no one could hear me. People had asked me to lead worship before, but I was so scared. I always shied away because I thought I wasn't good enough. But God called me at a little camp called Soul Survivor to listen to his servants who had been telling me to lead worship, and I was like, okay. I then slowly started to lead worship a bit more, and I became more confident in faith in doing so. In my first few months at university, I was asked to be the worship coordinator on the committee of the Christian Union, an opportunity I grasped and grew in throughout my first year. This was such a huge step for me since the year before I had been so nervous to lead worship, yet now I was doing it on a regular basis. One moment during worship that truly changed my life is something that happened one of the first times I ever led worship at CU, right back in my first semester of first year. We were doing the song My Chains Are Gone, and for some reason I couldn't remember the tune to Amazing Grace. And instead I sang the tune to Hillsong's Broken Vessels, which has the same lyrics but very different tune. Growing up I've always been such a perfectionist, so if this had happened a few years before, or even a year before, I would have been so thrown and so upset with myself. But when this happened, I suddenly felt an overwhelming sense of peace, and I had a revelation about how it didn't matter that I messed up because it was all for Jesus anyway. Being a Christian has allowed me to accept and utilise my God-given giftings to share his love with those around me, changing my life from one who is timid and too afraid to step out in faith to one who is alive and confident in God. So yeah, I hope that has blessed you in some way, and I hope you are having a fruitful isolation period, and I hope to see you all in person soon. Thanks for listening.